And speaking of unwanted pregnancies, I've learned so much from my daughter. It just like, and one thing I learned that they don't really tell you about, but you have to like constantly censor yourself, edit your responses to the kids, like, because kids will often say some really funny shit, just some gems, right? But you can't laugh because they didn't intend for it to be funny, so it's upsetting to them. It seems dismissive, and they're trying to be sincere, and so you can't laugh. It's you know, they take it poorly, and a good example of this, like, this is 100% true. So when my daughter was about 4 and a half, my wife was out of town, and we were having breakfast, and there was a little lull in the conversation, and I'm over, cleaning up some dishes and stuff. And then after about a minute, she says to me, and apropos of nothing, we had not been talking about anything like this at all. So she just comes out with this. She goes, "Daddy, I'm sad you're going to die soon." And, my immediate reaction was like, oh my God. She's a witch. And I went over and I sat down next to her, and I very quickly bound her hands and legs, threw in her sack, drove to a river, and dumped her off the bridge. But here's the thing, I love that kid so much, and I'm almost embarrassed to say that I'm surprised at how much I love her, not because of her, but I just didn't think I was capable of that depth of love for another person or thing, I mean, I used to think I had kind of a mild form of autism when it came to love, because I never had that connection that, you see in the movies and the poems and the books and the The Notebook. I've never felt like that, like Wuthering Heights. I haven't read it, but I assume there's some love shit in there, and I've just never felt that for anything, any person. And I have a wonderful dog, and but I would take a bullet for that kid. Instinctively, I would take a bullet for her. I would not take a bullet for my wife. No. No. Absolutely not. No. Fuck that. No. Wait. Honey, it's your bullet, he said. He said I'll be downstairs playing video games. No, but I would take a bullet for my dog. Now, here's the thing. I love that kid so much. I really do. But at the same time, and I'm 100% sincere when I say this, I also resent her. I really do. Because she's rich. She's a fucking rich kid. And I know it's not right. I know it's a leftover hangover prejudice I had since I was a kid. I grew up really poor, and I was always suspicious of rich people. I didn't get it. I didn't like it. And I just didn't like rich people. I still don't, And I'm rich. I mean, I'm not rich. I pay my taxes, but you know what I mean. And when that kid is whining about dumb shit, I'm like, oh, stop it. You're fucking rich. Stop, you have central air. Do you understand? Are you hot? Push that button, you'll cool down. Are you cold? Push that button, you heat up. You have a teepee in your playroom that's not your bedroom. Can you conceive of how fucking rich you're sitting there eating an organic banana that your mother made me go to 3 fucking places in the rain to get you an organic banana. Like that fucking matters. It's the biggest scam in the world. It's bullshit. Anybody can throw an organic sticker on anything. Nobody does their due diligence. It's all. Also, are you eating the peel? All right, then who gives a shit? Why do I have to pay a 500% markup for a fucking organic banana? You're not gonna eat. Okay, so I'm sorry. Let me get this straight. So, our water is contaminated, our air is polluted, our homes are slowly trying to kill us. But yeah, an organic banana, that'll set everything straight. Good. Hey, you know what? I didn't have anything organic until I was 40, and that was by accident, and I'm fine. All right. So seriously, quit your whining, young lady. Seriously, listen to me. Listen to me. Until you drive your 1982 Chevy Malibu with a broken side mirror an hour and a half through a snowstorm in a Western Mass so you can do a set for a bunch of disinterested, drunk, anti-Semitic, racist Christian patriots for $30 and a cold egg roll, then you can complain to me about how your purse doesn't have as many sparkles as Madeline's, all right? Also, that purse, that was made by prison labor. That's right, an innocent man was framed by a bunch of dirty cops. They planted drugs on him so they could boost their gotchas, right? They knowingly, and because he was black and indigent, they were just like, oh, this'll work, and they planted drugs on him. Then, when the rest of the precinct found out about it, you know what they did? They all covered up for him. The whole thing is corrupt. From top to bottom, they're all corrupt pieces of shit. And then those cops perjured themselves on the witness stand and in cahoots with a crooked prosecutor and a crooked judge knowingly sent an innocent man to prison, ruining generations of lives. He made your purse. Another thing that's changed since I had a kid is news affects me more. It affects me differently. It affects me in deeper ways that I can't shake, that are depressing. And like before I had a kid, get up in the morning, cup of tea, turn on the computer, and there's a Yahoo News front page, and be like, top story, a woman in Florida murdered her 3-year-old daughter. And, before I had a kid, I'd be like, fuck, man, that's messed up. How'd the Braves do? Now that I have a kid, I see those stories and I cannot shake them. And they really are depressing and disturbing. And, next morning, a man in Florida murdered his 6-year-old son. Jesus, fuck. Goddamn. Next morning, a woman in Florida murdered her 4-year-old daughter and son. Jesus. Next morning, a man in Florida murdered all his nieces under the age of 8. Next morning, a couple in Florida murdered their twins. And I see this you murdered a 3-year-old? What the fuck is wrong with you? You don't have to murder a 3-year-old. They're 3. There's a million ways they can die. Just leave them at the top of the stairs and go do laundry. What are you thinking? You don't have to scream and yell when they're running into the media. Just like, Cody, stop. You're not thinking, right? Hey, kiddo. Hey, here's 5 inches of water. I'm gonna go make some fish sticks. Oh, no. I'm free. What the fuck? And now you're gonna go to jail for the rest of your life. It's stupid. It's depressing. It's really disturbing and depressing. And also, you live in Florida. Avail yourselves of the services there. Just be patient. You know, there's like a 32.6% chance they'll be shot to death by the time they're in 8th grade. Come on now. Is your kid black or brown? The cops will murder him for you. I mean... Man, I think it is really messed up that they're gonna have to change the end of the Flintstones theme song just because of Florida. You get it? How you guys doing up there? You guys get it? How about y'all? Do y'all get it up there? Back of the house? You guys? All right, that's enough time. Man, what is going on in Florida? Like, they are just so proudly ignorant. They love it. They love to. They're. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. This is true. This is only a couple weeks old. All right, this is for real. I'm gonna read this to you. Don't have it memorized. All right. If you want to see the outcome of Ron DeSantis's Stop Woke Act, look no further than changes made to a first-grade social studies text about Rosa Parks. All right, so here's what the old version was that kids were learning about Rosa Parks. The law said African Americans had to give up their seats on the bus if a white person wanted to sit down. Well, that's pretty much what it was. But apparently that was causing the youth of Florida to just, I don't know, become heroin addicts. It's tough. It's tough news to process. So they had to change it. Stop woke. So they changed it. So they changed it to, she was told to move to a different seat because of the color of her skin. All right, it's pretty much, well, I mean, it's less specific, but that's not incorrect. And but apparently too much. Again, the kids were committing mass suicide, just jumping into trains, and it was just awful when they were told that. So they changed it further. What I'm going to read to you is what they are currently teaching kids in Florida about Rosa Parks. She was told to move to a different seat. She did not. She did what she believed was right. Yeah. That's, I don't know if you noticed, they leave a little wiggle room in there. She did what she believed was right. We're not saying it's right, because, you know, I mean, she should have just moved and listened, you know, obeyed her superiors, and she didn't. Sounds like somebody was getting a little too big for their britches, and she wouldn't move. And I mean, she did what she believed was right, and now we got to deal with all these vape stores. The Rosa Parks story. Martin Luther King Jr. told us all about a dream he had. But everyone knows it's boring when people tell you their dreams. He was rude and insolent. Nevertheless, a kindly white gentleman named James Earl Ray was so moved by his dream that he decided to gift Martin Luther King with a present. He looked around his house. What is there? What could I possibly give him? Then he said, you know what? I'll give him these free bullets. But I live so far away, how can I get them to him quickly? In Germany in 1932, a confused but well-meaning young man tried to come up with a solution to a problem everyone had. He tried everything, but nothing worked. And he was forced to use his final solution. And although there were very fine people on both sides, two wrongs don't make a right.